You know, I seen over almost 400 men executed around me when I was on death row. I got to know a lot of these young men, and I got to know the background to their stories. And some of these guys had legitimate claims of innocence, but I seen them all meet their same fate. You know, the criminal justice systems were murdering them. I knew then, after what was being exposed to me, that it wasn't just being exposed to me to drive me crazy, but for me to do something about it. And so I vowed before I even came home that when I got out, that I would create an institution that would help guys that I left behind, particularly when those who have actual claims of innocence. Right?
I knew Anthony in 1995 when I was originally sentenced to death. You know, I got death row Ellis in September of 1995, and you know, he was a name, a number, as someone convicted of a crime that, you know, makes people basically see them as monsters, see me as monsters. So he contacted my mom, he wrote me, and you know, he was kind of like, what's going on with your case? You know, I don't understand why you're still there, it makes no sense. You know, now I got my transcripts Thursday, and I found 253 instances of perjury and evidence that I never got, and found out there are 3 ballistics experts that gave false testimony. They had other guns, they have more tapes, and every court I've ever been in, my case has been reversed, yet I'm still here. There's no other case in Texas history of course that has happened to, and yet I'm still here. So, you know, and then I look at Anthony, it would have been so easy for him to be angry, to go out there, you know, tell people how horrible the conditions were. But can you imagine what courage it takes to work with a system that threw away your life?
One of the things I quickly realized is that I had to grow thick skin, because now the whole world has now convicted me and sentenced me to death and have called me a murderer, and something that I'm definitely not, something I never would have even dreamed of. Wow, I can't even begin to explain to you how it lit a fire in me to make me want to prove that you got it wrong about me. I say, well, I'm gonna take all the negative and I'm gonna use it as fuel to prove you wrong, because I'm innocent.
He knows what it's like. He knows what we go through in here. He knows how it is. And for him to know that, I mean, it's a big help, because he's living proof. When they said they found me guilty, I was like, man, you know, my life's over with. 30 years. I mean, I lost all hope. Nothing, you know, I didn't have anything. It was hard. After trial, after I was convicted, the kid that died, his father was there. That was his only son. And you know, he was in the parking lot crying, and my uncle goes up to him and tells him, hey, you know, I'm sorry for your loss, but my nephew didn't kill your son. And he tells my uncle, he said, I know that. He said, I'm sorry that I helped send him to prison. They've gotten affidavits from the victim, the surviving victim, and he signed an affidavit on my behalf and told him, you know, Pablo did not do this to me. He you know, he needs to be set free. He wasn't involved. You know, CJ on my side, Anthony, Pat, you know, just that they're, you know, fighting for me, you know. It like I said, it gives me hope, you know, that we'll beat this and I could go on with my life.
I feel like I still have something to prove to people that are still getting it wrong. It's not my life, but it's other people's lives, and it's the lives of their family members. So I'm out to prove that we don't have to kill people to say that that's justice. Is it enough to keep the death penalty, knowing that we get it right most of the time, but sometimes we get it wrong?